And I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the process. Run on, okay? Run on, because run on and see what the end gonna be. Don't tell me what to do. Just tell me what my options are. I don't even want to fool with it. I really don't. Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's another day in the garden. In this video, we're just gonna walk through the garden. I have not had my eyes on it in the last 4 days, so I'm back home for a couple of days, and I wanted to just see how things are going on in the garden. If you're brand new here, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee, which is in Zone 7B, and we live on a 75 plus acres of land. Obviously, we don't farm on that much, but we do farm a lot and have 3 main growing spaces. So I'm glad that you're here. So if you are new here, please say hello in the comments and let me know that this is your first time stopping by my channel, and let me know what city, state, or country you are coming in from. I love to see where people are coming in from, whether you're in my zone or not, and I just welcome you here. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for continuing to show up time after time after time. Y'all, it's another day in the garden. I'm glad to be outside. I'm glad to be in the garden because, you know, sometimes you get a little overwhelmed. And then you take a step back and you're like, I miss my garden. So I've been out of town for the last, 3 or 4 days. And I'm only in town for a few days. And so we got lots to do this week. And so I'm just going to take you on the journey with me. But the first thing is, let's just see how things are going. And we're going to start in the backyard. And we'll see what all fun we come up with. But y'all, when I first came out here, I want to show you this. This is so exciting. You and I did this together. So let me show you. Let me turn the camera around and show you what I discovered as soon as I walked outside. Y'all, we have our potatoes already sprouting. These are potatoes. You and I planted them together just last week, y'all. They normally take, for me, about 14 days to come up. But y'all, we have potatoes sprouting in our GreenStalk, which is so exciting. I've never seen potatoes sprout this early. This is my first time doing them in GreenStalks. So I'm so excited. I was not expecting to see this at all. At the most, it's been 7 days. But look, y'all, they're popping up everywhere. You and I planted them together. We have some in this GreenStalk, all around. Okay, all around. My coleus is like, hey, I'm still here. I know you are. So there's one there. There's one coming up there. So y'all, how exciting. One coming up there. If you can see right in there. And then I don't think we planted anywhere. I think it was just these 2 that we planted in. I don't even remember, y'all. So we did plant potatoes in one more space. Let's walk over here and see if we have any potatoes sprouting in the raised bed. And it looks like we have one. We have one right in there. That's the only one I see. These are the ones that we did that were the purple ones. And so I see one sprouting. So maybe we'll have some more that come up. But while we're here, let's look at, we got the purple hull peas. Right in there that have grown in the last 3 or 4 days, which is exciting. I planted some cowpeas right along in there. So they're doing good. Okay, that is great. That is great. Let's go look at the sweet potatoes in the GreenStalks. Okay, they got some little lacy damage going on. I'm not overly concerned at all because, again, this is an experiment. They're still growing. They need to be fertilized. So I have to do that. It's too hot to fertilize right now. But so far, they're hanging in here. Obviously, there's some pest damage going on, but that's okay. So far, so good on that. This is my first time doing sweet potatoes in a GreenStalk, so we're experimenting with that as well. So I'm very excited to see the potatoes. 1, because it's my first time, and 2, that's quick germination compared to what I normally have. So I cannot wait to check the raised beds out in the outside garden. That's our main potato planting space. So if you're new here, we're doing fall potatoes. If you're in zone 7 or above, you typically can do fall potatoes. And so we planted these around the first week of August, I think, if not mistake, somewhere along in there. And these that I planted in the GreenStalks were left over that I didn't have space for. But we planted 2 beds outside in my outside garden, and we're going to see what those do. They should hopefully be sprouted as well, but it'll be interesting to see if they're not sprouted and these are. But I'm excited to see how these do in the green stalks, and that'll be what I consider extra because I wasn't even counting on it. And the sweet potatoes are brand new as well in the green stalk, but we do have two beds of, yeah, we have two beds of sweet potatoes that I'll show you that are growing very, very nicely. So this space right here is my backyard. This is where my garden started 6 years ago. If you're new, I started with 4 raised beds. You'll see there's 5 raised beds back here now, but I started with 4 raised beds, and this garden space will always be super special to me because this is where my garden journey started. Now, the reason why I'm starting with this space is, one, because I just got home and it's easier for me to come out here. But then also, this is the most newly planted space. And so it's the space that looks the best in terms of green, less disease, less pests, instead of, you know, not plants are not burnt and crispy for lack of a better term. Now, my green stalks, what's left over is still looking pretty good. So let's go over here to this green stalk. The green stalks were planted out much sooner, but when we get to the beds, you'll see those beds are looking vibrant because they were the last things planted out. But like my green stalks are still looking good for what's left in them. Let's take this out. We have some marigolds that are still doing quite well here in the green stalks. We have some sage that's doing well, and we have some oregano up here at the top. We have some thyme that's still doing good, and we have a nasturtium still hanging on. So this one looks relatively good. Now, I've gone through in another video, and we took out all of the dead stuff in the green stalks, and that's when we planted our potatoes. And so the green stalks are not filled to capacity, but for the most part, either they have the potatoes in them, those 2 that I showed you, or we have some herbs and marigolds still left. So when it comes to the fall, what I'm planning on is at least to do one of these for the fall with like leafy greens, just so that I have some easy access to come out of my back door and come and grab something, not have to walk all the way to the tunnel. So let's kind of walk through. So right now we have this green stalk, which was strawberries that did absolutely nothing. I'm debating on whether I just keep these in here. I guess if I'm going to keep them in here, do I need to like clip the runners? I don't know. I may take all this out. I don't even know. I may keep it in here and just see what it does next. I'm about to say next semester, next summer or next spring, to see, because you guys have told me that it takes a couple of years, and that even though I didn't get a good harvest this year, that maybe I'll have one next year. But y'all, if you've been here before, you know that I'm not loving these growing strawberries. I just want to buy them from the orchard. That's what I want to do, y'all. I just want to buy them from a local farmer. I don't even want to fool with it. I really don't. But because I keep telling y'all to try and try again, I'm going to be the role model. I'm going to be the example. But y'all, I have tried. This is like my 4th time trying. And I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the process. These runners in this running situation, run on, okay? Run on. Because run on and see what the end going to be. Run on and see what the end's going to be, because the end's going to be that you might get pulled up. That might be your end. I just hadn't decided yet. But y'all tell me, if I decide to keep the strawberries here, do I have to do anything before next summer? Like, am I gonna have to like clip something, or like, don't have me rooting? I don't want to root nothing. I don't want to do the runners. I don't want to do none of that. I just don't. But if it can stay like this, then I might consider it. We'll see. We shall see. Y'all let me know in the comments. Let me know my options. Don't tell me what to do. Just tell me what my options are. And then we'll go from there. How about that? Is deal? Deal. Okay. So we got this one with the strawberries. Look, there's a lesson. Let me tell you something. I encourage you guys, and I try to inspire you to grow the things that your family eats, and to not give up, and to not try. But at the end of the day, it is always your garden, right? Just like this is my garden. And there's some things that I don't get joy. I don't get pleasure. Like, instead of it being a challenge, I'm like, oh, let me really try to do that. For whatever reason, these strawberries, I don't know. I just don't be enjoying it. I did it again this year after I said I wouldn't, because of the new berry cups, y'all. These berry cups are so cute. Look at this. I thought, oh, this my ticket. I'm going to be able to do it. Y'all, berry cups empty. Berry cups are empty. Okay, let's move on. We saw this one. This is the potato. This one here is mostly potatoes. I got some tomatoes that are still, and some eggplant. I'm going to see if it does anything. But if not, we got potatoes. And this up here just needs to be trimmed back, some flowers, okay? This green stalk here is our yarrow. there, and we got some basil, but for the most part, it's pretty much empty. So we might plant this one out for the fall. We looked at that one, and then we looked at the black one, which is the sweet potatoes. So that's pretty much the green stalks, and you see what's growing and what's the plan. My plan is to at least plant maybe one of these for the fall, and that's it. I don't usually do anything in the winter in my green stalks because I usually garden solely in my high tunnel between the fall and the winter. Okay, but let me show you my citrus trees. Okay, so I have two citrus trees right here. This is my mandarin. It's the Owari Satsuma mandarin tree. It is from Fast Growing Trees. You can see she's getting tall, looking great. No flowers yet. I don't know how long it takes them to grow. I need to look it up, but she looks healthy and she has definitely grown. It was like maybe here when I got it, and so it's all the way up here. This is my lemon tree here. Y'all, look at those lemons. The best looking lemons I have ever done. And you can see they're starting to turn, which is great. I have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the plant itself looks healthy. So I'm really excited and proud of that. This is our banana tree. That's an experiment. And then going over here is our lime tree. You can see the height of this one. No flowers yet on that, but it looks very healthy. And then this is our avocado tree. All of these are from Fast Growing Trees. So Fast Growing Trees, I am an affiliate for them. So if you ever want to get some trees, shrubs, landscape, fruit trees, whatever you want for your landscaping needs, I highly recommend Fast Growing Trees. I was already buying from them before I became an affiliate, but I have several fruit trees. I have a total of like 20 something fruit trees, and I bought from 3 different main vendors. And I can tell you by far, the ones from Fast Growing Trees are doing better than all of them. And so I do have a discount code. Go to my description box. I will also try to remember to put it up here. They are changing their name to trees.com. So the time of this video, that may or may not have happened, but either way, the code I'll put up here, and it's always in my description box. This is also a great time if you want to get fruit trees. We got our fruit trees in August and September of last year to start our orchard, and putting them in the ground in the fall is a great way to kind of get ahead or a jump start. Obviously, you can do them in the spring, but we did ours in the fall, and that at least gave us a jump start into the season, and they were able to be, a little bit more established when the spring came, which was great. So definitely, if you're in the market for trees, I highly recommend Fast Growing Trees. Now, y'all, I think we're just gonna do a garden tour of this backyard because it is looking good. So as I was saying before, with this space, it is the most newly planted space. So I have 3 main spaces: a high tunnel, an outside garden, and then back here. And so when it comes to the summertime, this is always the last place to be planted because out here were my onions and my garlic until June. And so most of what you see outside of the green stalks that we're going to walk through and see in the beds was planted mid-June, versus the stuff that's in my high tunnel and in my outside garden, it was planted in the end of April. So we almost got like a 2-month difference, and you'll be able to tell that these plants look so much more healthy because they have not been in the ground as long. Okay, guys, let's go over and take a look at the beds and see how things are growing. Oh, I have a red tomato. Wow. Oh, it's been eaten. Okay, so in this bed here, you can see I have tons of Roma tomatoes coming on. I had just had one that was red, but it had already been eaten. So these desperately need to be, not necessarily trellised, they need to be supported. This is a determinate tomato variety that I had this stake right here, but you can see, y'all, it's hanging all on the ground. And I do have a trellis to support it, but it may be too far gone, meaning it's too big for me to even put the trellis around it now. It's on the ground, which is not ideal, especially with all the rain we've been having. But yeah, I got more tomatoes in here. I need to water this more when the sun goes down. It's on drip, but I probably need to up the drip. Okay, that's another one that's bad. But I also have basil in here that smells amazing. Look at all these beautiful zinnias. That's marigold right there. But this right here are zinnias that look great. We have some basil. We have more zinnias in here. Y'all, again, these need to be better supported. Let's walk around. You can see all the tomatoes I have hanging here that look great. All in here on the ground. Again, y'all. It's just, I don't know how I'm going to get these supported now that the plant is so big. I'm not sure. My plants are like falling over. I got some green beans down in here somewhere. I got some green beans in here that I'm going to try to get. This is not ideal because it's in the middle of the day, but this is the only time I have. So let's see what we can get quickly. I got peppers in here too. My green beans are kind of laying down. This is my second harvest of green beans from this plant here. This is jade green beans. Trying to get as many as I can. The bees are out in full force. The wasps are out. But how many know sometimes you just got to do what you got to do? And this is the best I can do. Okay. I got a handful. I see some jalapeno peppers too that I can get. We'll go ahead and grab those. I probably need to increase my drip out here. It comes on once in the morning. But because the temperature is ramping up since it's August, I probably need to increase it to twice a day because the soil looks dry. The plants look okay, but they probably need some more water. So we'll try that. Plus they need to be fertilized as well. But overall, they look good. We got marigolds right here in the corner looking beautiful. And some more peppers growing there. Let's go to the other bed. In this bed, I got more peppers, more jalapeno peppers. Oh, wow. I see a lot of peppers on the other side. I can't remember what kind of pepper this is. I'm going to let it turn red, though. We got some peppers on the other side. But, y'all, let's look at the melons. And I bought something that I cannot wait to show you for the melons. Look at my melons, y'all. I have 1, 2, 3. These are the Minnesota midget melons. So they're growing nicely. It's supposed to be for a container. It only takes like 50 days, and it's like a personal size melon. But I want to show you these melon cups that I bought, or melon holders. You stick it in the ground so that the melon can rest in there and not be directly connected to the ground. I don't know if you can see that. I might have to get a close-up shot. But I bought 3. They were $3. And I bought them from this vendor that I met. And I wanted to try them. So I'm going to stick all 3 of these in. And I want to try it out. When you have young melons that are developing, they can be soft on the underside and they can be prone to getting rot or pests or things like that. So this is going to keep it elevated off of the ground. So I'm really excited to try this. This is what they look like. Little melon holders, which I think is so cute. They were only $3 a piece, and I wanted to try them. So these are in a raised bed, so not as bad. But if they were hanging on the ground, obviously you can stick them in the ground to where they're not going to be touching the ground. They can still get water and all of that. This is one sweet potato bed. You can see it's all filled out, looking good. We even are starting to have purple flowers that you can see in there, hopefully. And then this bed here, oh, I see an orange bell pepper that looks great. Let's see if it looks great all the way around. Yep, it does. Great. We'll add that to our basket. And we saw this bed, but look at the turmeric. It's growing well. It looks great. The ginger over there, you can see the turmeric. The ginger, hopefully through there. And then this is the other bed of sweet potatoes right here. So that bed is looking good. We have some more peppers over here, but I'm going to let them turn before I try to harvest. Okay, so now we're inside because it is hot. My eyelids are sweating. It's so hot. So I'd already come in and taken a break and got me a protein shake, but it's now in the middle of the day. This is the only time I have to check on the garden, harvest, and do whatever. So we did get a small basket of green beans and some peppers, but it's absolutely too hot out there right now. And I forgot, because I haven't been here, but I looked at the weather. We're under a heat index. It's been a heat index for the last 3 or 4 days since before we left. And I think the heat index ends either tonight or in the morning. But the heat index is over 100. So it's better for me to be safe than sorry. So I came in here to cool off, but also to give you an update and show you the fall seedlings. Y'all, I really love those little melon things. I think that is so, I love cute stuff. I love some cute stuff. That is cute, but also it should hopefully be functional. But overall, the outside garden is looking very, very good. I'm pleased. My tomatoes need more support. And again, that's just been a function of time. You just don't have time. And I actually do have a brand new trellis to put them on. The trellis is like a tall vertical one, but the plant is so big, I have to see if I can get it in the bed and get the tomatoes like shimmied in there so they can kind of grow up the trellis. So maybe I'll see if I can get my husband to do that one day this week and get that taken care of. So that way they're not on the ground, especially with all the rain that we've had. So it hasn't rained in the last 2 days, 48 hours, which is almost, that might be a record this summer. There's not been any rain, I don't think, for 2 whole days, which just might be a record. But let me show you how the fall seedlings are doing. Again, you guys were with me last week when we up-potted some fall seedlings. We also started some new fall seedlings. And so let me show you first the ones that we up-potted into the Dragonfly Teal GreenStalk Seed Starter Kit. They are looking so, so good. When you up-pot and you give the plants space, look at that. If you were with me last week, you know that they were not this big. Our lettuce is looking good right there in the front. So overall, they are looking great. I got a few in the back that's looking a little bit like they might need some more water. I just watered them a little while ago, but maybe my son missed it in the back. It's like right in the back corner. And now I'm starting to fertilize my seedlings because a lot of them are at least 3 or 4 weeks old. And so to fertilize, I either use fish emulsion or I use organicrev.com, which I don't have it in here. Let's see. This fish emulsion, I normally use Neptune's Harvest, but I had this right here, so I put some of that in there. It's just plain fish emulsion. And then Organic Rev, you guys have heard me talk about that, organicrev.com. And so when you are fertilizing your seedlings, make sure that you follow the directions and use half strength because they are seedlings. So you don't want to burn them or give them too much fertilizer. But at this stage, it's good for them to have like a little boost a little boost. So let me show you the ones that we actually started last week. So these are only a week old, and these are looking really good. We have pretty much perfect germination except for our alyssum and our snapdragons, which snapdragons, we have a little germination. They take a while. So let me see if I can take this off and show you a little bit more up close. So this is our alyssum, and I can still see it on top of the soil, which it gets germinated by light. So I'll give it a little bit more. If not, I'll reseed it. This right here is our snapdragon. You can see I got one little one coming up there, and that's about it. So 1 out of 6. But this is kale, winterboard kale. This is collards, black magic kale. Here's some more alyssum that has germinated, which tells me maybe this seed was bad because I did a mixture of seed. So I have 6 completely germinated here, but none really in these 2 pockets here. This is bok choy, 100% germination. This is Merlot lettuce, and this is black seeded Simpson lettuce. And so perfect germination except these 2 things of alyssum and the snapdragons, which snapdragons take a while, so I'm not concerned. But the alyssum should have probably germinated by now. So I'll see if I have some more new seed and we'll seed it. This is another tray that is almost a week and a half old. This is our spinach. So it's a couple of weeks old. I just watered it, so that's why some of it is laying down. Here's more alyssum that has germinated. This is collards here. This is some broccoli that we did last week. Only 1 out of the 6 have germinated. And then in this one, this is broccoli. 3 out of 6 have germinated. So again, we may need to do some more. And then this is cabbage that has done well. And then this right here is more alyssum there. So overall, those are looking good. This is another tray we up potted last week. And these are ones that we started probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. We have cabbage there. This is Copenhagen cabbage. And then this right here is more cabbage, the tiara cabbage, which is a smaller personal size cabbage. We have some cilantro right down here in the middle. We only have 6 cilantro, so we definitely got to start some more cilantro. This is broccoli. And then right here we have 3 squash that need to be put out in the garden. I forgot I had up potted these, but they look great. So these are 3 summer crops that need to be put out. So I'll put those out this week. And then we have an alyssum right there in the corner. But that squash looks great. So we're going to try to get another round of squash. We planted 2 squashes last week. I have to go out there and see how they're doing. But we got 3 more right here. So overall, that is looking good. And the very last tray here, I won't pull this out. This is one of the ones that we started in the very beginning. It's like 4 weeks old. And perfect germination, looking good. But it just seems like, for whatever reason, it's not doing as good as others. As far as I know, I'm pretty sure I used the same soil. But it's like just growing. I mean, this is for like 4 weeks old, and it's still looking like on par with some of the stuff that is 3 weeks old. It's not as big as I would have anticipated. So I'm not sure about that. So we'll just let them keep getting bigger. I'll fertilize and see what happens. Okay, I'm back outside because I left my harvest basket. So let me just show you. We got 1 orange bell pepper, which is great. And then we got half a basket of green beans. And there's some jalapeno peppers in there as well. So that's a pretty good haul of green beans. That's probably enough for 2 servings, which is great. And I got 1 serving already in there. So we'll get these bunched up and put them in the freezer. So that's a nice little haul basket for in the back of the house. We still need to go down there and take care of some things, but we definitely want to take this inside. Y'all, it is hot out here. So I'm going to end this video here. I'll meet you back in the garden. Probably the next time I meet you in the garden, it'll be down there. But I want to say thank you guys so much for joining me today as we just kind of walked through the garden, at least 1/3 of the garden in the backyard to see what was going on and to put our little new cute little tools in and all of that good stuff. So I hope that your gardens are doing well. Remember, y'all, this is all a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend. Thanks so much for stopping by our channel. And if you would, take a moment and go to our website at livingfoodsfarm.com. You can see all of the latest YouTube videos in case you missed one. You can subscribe to the channel, sign up for our email list, as well as join our YouTube membership. Also, we have many items for sale under the shop tab. You can go to kitchen or to skin and body, depending on what you're looking for. We source many of the items right here from things that we grow on the farm, or we buy from an organic source. We also have digital resources as well that you can instantly download. We have everything from seed starting calculators, how to build healthy soil, as well as 2-hour classes, replays on sourdough, canning, and fall gardening, and how to start your garden for the very first time. So go take a look, see if there's anything that you would be interested in, and thank you so much again for stopping by our channel.